What up, my freaks? RuinusInsight here with part, I want to say 9 of my Total Warhammer 3 Ikit Claw Immortal Empires campaign. So as we saw last time, after intercepting an Wood Elf force belonging to Durthu but not Durthu's own, we were able to move towards the Kingsglade and promptly destroy it. Well, actually take it, but we'll be abandoning it next turn because there's no real reason to hold on to these territories. Though, now that I think about it, maybe it would be better to hold on to it for another turn and then move back to it later so we can use it for heals? Potentially, but then I guess we could just take over the king. Well, I mean, the Oak of Ages will probably just straight up raise. There's no real sack value. But yeah, abandoning... I wonder... I don't recall what the debuff for abandoning stuff is, but if it's just public order, that would actually be really helpful to us, because we don't want public order right now. I'll have to think about that. Anyway, let's see what we've got to do this turn. So, as we saw at the end of last time, we know that the Bloody Hands are probably going to move on towards Morphic. In that light, I think we'll build... Wow, Deathclaws were just way too expensive. Let's build a couple Poison Winds. They're also ludicrously expensive, but we'll see if we can get any mileage out of them here. And then in addition to them, let's build one more Skaven Slave Spear, and then one more Skaven Slave Slinger. Gotta keep holding that ground. There we go. Via global recruitment just to increase the possibility. And then we have max Skaven Corruption, so we will also have max Menace Belows available to us, plus a nuke. Speaking of nukes, or rather speaking of warp fuel, we could probably get a few Forbidden Workshop upgrades now. The Doom Rockets not so much, but I think it's time to continue moving through these so that we can get the various Regiments of Renown for Ikit that I'm sure he wants ASAP. Now, I believe the better upgrade was Rattling Coolant. Yeah, plus 15% Rattling Gun Weapon reload time reduction. That seems pretty good, so let's get that. And I probably could have done a couple of these instead of, We used some food last time specifically because we were basically maxed out, but we could have done a couple of these instead, but oh well. We get stock for Warplug Jezzails or missile resistance, but they're relatively unlikely to get hit by missiles. What else do we have here? Poison Wind Mortars, that's a 15% reload time reduction, which is quite nice, but we only have 2, and we're not technically even using them right now, though it is a very nice upgrade. Mostly we're using Warp Fire Throwers, so the 25% armor is decent, but it's nothing crazy. Ooh, increased range from level 3. What do we need for level 3? Warlock Master and Warlock Engineer. Okay, yeah, we're working on that, we're working on it. And you know what, let's get Rat Eye Scopes, the Hawkish Precision. Oh, I do wonder whether this will apply to our Regiments of Renown. And there we go, that's basically all of our Warpstone canisters. But then next time we use one, we'll get the Doombringers. Also, this gives us the Sniper Escape. Missile Strength plus 12, Missile Resistance plus 10, and Attribute Stock, which I suppose we can put on one of our Jezzail, or maybe even one of the Rattling Gunners. It doesn't make them unspottable, though, so it's not as good. But still, stock could be pretty nice. But wait, stock stops if stock stops if you fire, doesn't it? I guess we'll see. Breeders you don't need, at least not here. Engineering student, yeah, that's what our second Warlock Engineer is for. Actually, what level are you? You're already level 4. Alright, and they'll be about the same level by the time. And also, you... Let's see, ammunition would be quite useful for our... ammunition versus missile strength, straight up. 8 ammunition for 1 point. You know what? Let's get the 8 ammunition for 1 point, and then let's go through triangulation. We also really want to get increased mobility as fast as possible. But for now, good as it is. And I do want to level everybody up in case Durthu attacks us next turn, because that is a distinct possibility. Let's also get engineering skill, and then you two, keep moving towards those bone breakers if you can. Might have even benefited from getting training on one of them, but we're okay for now. Alrighty, get those bone breakers. Now, you guys are good. Let's see what we can also spend money on here. Do we want to try upgrading Zvorak? It's really expensive, and considering the fact that we might lose the place, it probably isn't all that great of a choice. We do probably want to upgrade the back tunnels at Karakazor, because it is still in danger, so perhaps at least for one turn we'll switch to Expansionist Planning and upgrade that. Miragliano has switched off Expansionist Planning, so I think we switch it back on. Going back and forth between those is a little bit annoying. And what's the likelihood anybody actually attacks Artosa right now? Pretty minimal, I should say. Alright, Squid, we're going to try upgrading Zvorak, and Argalis definitely get those walls, and we might as well get the trade goods added for Danos. We do have a trading partner after all, so we're getting some money from trade. 1365, certainly nothing to sneeze at in the early game. And then, yeah, everything else I guess will leave, including our money, because we are not in Expansionist Planning anymore. Yeah. Alright, that sounds good to me, and I do believe that's everybody. I'm really curious to see how the Bloody Hands will react. They're certainly not loving us enough to peace out. Yeah, no dice. No dice, but that's okay. It'll happen eventually, possibly, maybe, or we'll just destroy them. We got the we got the endgame scenario that's fighting them anyway, so there's a very distinct possibility. Oh, and actually, you need to level up as well. I'd love for... we should get a construction engineer. We absolutely should, but it shouldn't be you. You have too much stuff already. And you have the Warpstone Hoarder, so you might as well get the Warpstone Weapons Engineer, rather, because reduction for Warp Fire Throwers, as well as several other things, is going to be quite useful for you in particular. You can stay on your Doomflayer, unlike Ikit, because you're always acting as a reinforcement. I also want at least 1 point in Howling Warp Gale. It's not anything crazy, but it is a very useful spell when you're running into actual flying units, and who knows, we may be fighting Bretonnia in the near future, and they do like to bring a few flyers along. Alrighty, rest of that looks good to me. Let's skip the rest, including the commandment. Should we abandon it next turn, after all?
Greatest, best inventor.
You know what, let's abandon it next turn. I mean, technically we can make a decent amount of food out of exploitative planning here. Yeah. Abandon it next turn. Outpost available. Oh, right. I completely forgot about this. Yeah, we might as well build the outpost. Hopefully these guys don't lose it. It's not very leveled in the sense that if any army attacks it, it'll be destroyed. But honestly, if the faction dies, it'll just give us the opportunity to colonize all this. So either way, we win. Skaven always win, people. And you have your root matcher, so you're good. End the turn now. I don't believe I've forgotten anybody. And let's see what the Bloody Hands are gonna do. I imagine that Scalpos should be sieging Karakazor now. Would be interesting if Durthu came along while Scalpos sieged it in addition to that, but I feel like Durthu should attack us here. Oh, they didn't actually move into... Huh, okay, I wasn't expecting that. What do you want? You want us to join war against Carcassonne? How about instead... we do not do that. You can keep fighting Carcassonne. We'll probably get into a war with them eventually, especially as it's part of our short victory conditions, but not right now. Oh, actually, there's also been a bunch of comments over several episodes at this point. Ah, there's Durthu. Over several episodes at this point, inquiring as to whether we'll go for what kind of campaign goal and whether it'll be world conquest or what. Generally speaking, I leave that up to you guys with regards to interest to this, as in if there's interest, I'm willing to go all the way as usual, but we shall have to see what the interest is down the line. For example, I wasn't expecting to do a world conquest with Boris, but people really liked that campaign, so just did so. And same thing might happen here. Anyway, let's get another subterranean pit here, and I think you're probably not going to generate a crazy amount of money, but you can get scavenger raiders for a little bit of food. It's only 3 granted, but at 1,000 gold it's really not so bad, and it'll counteract the cost of the subterranean pit to some degree. Not as much as I'd like, but it's something. We'll probably have to build the murder holes here as well, but it's all good. And these undercities have individual discoverability, right? Yeah, okay. Alright, well, there's our first undercity spread. Durthu actually looks like he's going this way, but what could he possibly be going for? I imagine he's going to go around to try to get Morphic, but by the time he does, we will have transferred the Poisoned Wind Mortars to him, and that'll be, well, that'll be Durthu's problem. Let's also continue building units here. Just another slave army. Like so. And we'll delete units if we need to. And one more slinger. We have 8 and 8, so it doesn't really matter what we build. You know what? One more Skaven Slave Spear, because these guys will run out of ammo. No, you know what? Screw it. One more. No, yeah, Skaven Slave Spears. They're going to take damage both from our own slingers as well as our Poison Wind Globadiers, so they'll need to hold the ground for quite a while. Alrighty, now, Ikit. Ikit. Are you able to reach the Oak of Ages in one turn? Yes, indeed you are. Well, isn't that lovely? Oh, wow, Durthu's gonna abandon this territory to Khazrak? And you're willing to go non-aggression pact and give us 3k for it. A lot of factions won't like us for it, but who cares? We'll take it. Lovely. If we have to kill him, we'll kill him later. And these guys are probably coming for us yet again. We really need to take Fort Solid tier 5, but once again later. Can Durthu reach Karak-Azor from here? Because I'd like to auto-resolve this. I hope so. Nah, we took some damage, but nah. You know what? Just in case, we're gonna heal up a little bit. I don't know whether Durthu can actually reach this or not, but I guess we're about to find out. You are moving towards Ikit, so continue to do so. And you're now in expansionist planning, so Karak-Azor, Wall, Xerexil. You can wait for the wall, to be perfectly frank. Although, if we build your wall now, we can switch out of expansionist plan. Yeah, fine, game. You got me. Are you happy? Are you proud of yourself, game? Exploitative planning it is. And you are an expansionist now as well. You're good, and you remain an expansionist planning as well. I guess we'll upgrade Verdanos, we need the wall here. And you can stay in expansionist planning, because we'll need to upgrade Argalis shortly as well. You need a basic wall. And we need to upgrade all of these little rubbish pits and all this garbage, but we'll do it later. And yeah, we need to somehow get more control reduction. The fact is, we're getting +2 control from plentiful food, and it's actually not a good thing for us right now. So yeah. Anyway, to the Oak of Ages we go. You still can't get any of these, right? Yes. Not. Alright, to the Oak of Ages. And do we actually want to fight this? I mean, yes, it's the Oak of Ages, but this is kind of... I don't know, I'll think about it. Sniper's Cape for now. Let's see, you have Hide and you have Stock, so we could just go double up on these guys. Yeah. And just out of curiosity, yeah, you do have Hawkish Precision. Nice. No, the range is only 70 meters, which is not that amazing, but oh well. I'm almost tempted to put the Sniper's Cape on one of the Warp Fire Throwers, because their range is a little bit short, but... Alright, anyway, encircle the place. And we'll move Charge Lock up manually. As in, yeah, he's gonna suffer attrition here, but it's just the slave army anyway. Go here. And the reason I want to do that rather than jump is there may be a possibility of an interception. Although, actually, these guys are now at peace with us, even though we're attacking the bloody Oak of Ages. I feel like they should automatically declare war on you if you set foot in the Oak of Ages, you know? But alas, for them, not the case. I do have to wonder how much casualties we'd suffer here if we auto-resolve this. It's just that the King's Glade defenses were even tougher than this, and we suffered like 14 units lost here, which makes me feel like this is kind of a waste of time. And they even had that tree man, or whatever, as the Lord. Now, the only thing about this is there something that is likely to get us a better battle? These guys have moved away, but Durthu's coming, so maybe him. Ooh, actually, here's a problem. How the heck would we bring down Durthu? Even the Poison Wind Globadiers would probably be unlikely to do so. Maybe a sufficient towers, but he'd probably be able to break through so many Skaven slaves by just terrifying them away. Yes. You know what, screw it. We're gonna fight this. I don't really see the point, but the thing is, it's an Oak of Ages and just feels like we should, you know what I mean? It is a main settlement after all, or it's an important settlement and possibly an important fight. Let's get a few uses of the Menace below, let's say 3. We're not really gonna need them, but they'll speed up the process, and we'll get the food back immediately anyway. Can we spend food on anything else right now? I don't think so. Alright, fight. Man, when I was going into this battle, I could have sworn that the Oak of Ages had a different map than all the other tree places do, but apparently not. It's the exact same one. I guess I was thinking of the map that you fight when you fight the final battle for the Wood Elves, where you either defend or attack the tree. But this isn't the final battle, so it's not using that map, which is a little bit disappointing. It really should. Kind of a waste to have this the exact same map as the King's Glade and Waterfall Palace, etc, 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 especially since we essentially set up in the exact same way as we did the last episode, and I don't remember whether I talked about this last episode or not, but essentially we have this nice little clearing here where we set up all of our units, especially our artillery, and our artillery can fire essentially with impunity here as the enemy just can't reach us, and the Wood Elf AI does a pretty bad job of actually sallying out and taking advantage of the fact that it has a decent amount of range superiority and the ability to surround us fairly decently here. But, oh well, I'm not gonna complain about it. This was always going to be a fairly easy battle because the garrison here was inferior to the garrison of Kingsglade, and they stood no chance, so I don't imagine that these ones will stand much of a chance either. Anyway, we begun the bombardment. The enemy's already starting to take damage, and the balance of power is roughly, I don't know, 75% in our favor already. It gets already ready to move in, and we're going to move up our rattling guns a little bit quicker this time, because we're really not that threatened by the enemy forces here. Gotta be careful not to get cocky, though, because that's how you lose one of your fragile weapons team's units. Ooh, that was a nice shot. Trying to get some hits into the treemen, and interestingly enough, the treemen, the regular non-malevolent treemen, the green glow of them kind of matches warpstone glow, doesn't it? Huh. Might have actually been nice to have some Wood Elf allies specifically for the purpose of getting treemen that would glow green like that. I feel like Molder would enjoy those. See what they can do with such a creature. But oh well, you can't have everything. Anyway, it gets moving forward, and so our rattling guns, the enemy looks like they're going to bring some ranged units forward, which seems like a terrible idea. They're going to get hit by the brass orb, while Ikit moves in and hits the other one. We're also going to get support from our Plague Cloud catapults, who seem to be landing some nice shots, and our Jezzails are working on this as well. And these poor Glade Guard having an atrocious time of this. And they just wanted to protect their tree. And yeah, we can't even see the tree on this map, can we? This is it's just a map. Huh. I wonder why. If we're attacking the tree, we should see the tree. That's not the tree, that's just a big tree. Odd. Huh. Was it always like this? I wish I could remember. Well, regardless, it's not gonna matter. The enemy's getting ripped apart as usual. The rattling guns are making quick work of those poor Eternal Guard, betting that they really wish that they had shields. Not that it would have helped all that much either way, because of our shield breaker abilities, and oh, I like how that one unit stayed in the frame there. Here come our Doom Flayers, which are not getting too much work in this particular battle, but honestly, nobody's getting that much work in this particular battle, because the enemy is pretty much done for already. Looks like some Eternal Guard with shields this time have caught Ikit, but are also taking shots in the side slash the back from our Rattling Guns and our Jezzails. And plus, Ikit could probably make fairly quick work of them all by himself, if he wanted to. Like so. And there we go. Ooh, looks like a nice volley from Waywatchers, I would think. No, Deepwood Scouts. Blue arrows. Should have known. Alrighty, another menace below, and Ikit's gonna help out a little bit with those Treekin as we move in. I do wonder if Ikit could take out a unit of Treekin one-on-one. At his current state, on the Doom Wheel. I do have to wonder. Well, he's going to drop another Brass Orb, and even if he can't take those guys out, he can certainly destroy another unit while we continue obliterating them with our Rattling Guns and our artillery support, and our Jezzails, and the battle should be very much near to over. Everybody routs. They want no part of this, and who could blame them? Screw the tree, they're out of here, and it is ours. Alright, as expected, easy enough, and I think the only damage we actually took was from our own units. The warp fire throwers hitting the warp lock Giselle. A bit of an oops, but what can you do? Now the sack value here is actually quite minimal. We could just straight up raise it, or we could occupy it and use it for heal so that we don't suffer attrition, and I guess that's what we'll do. I didn't check what the actual debuff was from doing that, though. I should probably check it before repeatedly doing this. We'll do it one more time. Free armor of silvered stone. The avalanche mortars. Very, very nice. Now, we don't really care about you, Mr. Tree. Income from all buildings plus 5, you say? That's actually not bad. That's actually really not bad. But the problem is, there's no way to actually hold it. The garrison is garbage and it can't be upgraded, and I don't really want to upgrade all of these. I mean, even if we take them at tier 5, I really don't feel like bothering with these territories. I suppose we could come back for it at some point. But I think we'll nonetheless abandon it. You are gonna get abandoned as well. Let's see what the debuff is. We'll hold on to the oak for now. But otherwise, I mean, you have one territory, and Torgavon does as well. So we have a decent chance to destroy all of them. I do have to wonder whether whether Talzin is going to attack us, but they've lost considerable power now that they are no longer sporting any of their good territories. Lovely. And we still have to wonder where Dirthu's gonna go. Now, we do have a little bit of cash from that. We should probably spend it. We were gonna get some stuff here, so why not? 900, 900, and 900. Wasn't that just perfect? We have 15 remaining, which means I believe we don't need expansionist planning anymore. Though the back tunnels... we can upgrade the back tunnels and the arcane generators next, so we'll keep it for one more turn. Plus we need to upgrade Lucini's wall to level 3. And then I guess you... have to stay in expansionist planning for Argalis, as well as potentially this, but that'll be in a few turns. And actually Argalis will be in probably 2 turns. Just stay in exploitative. Just so that we don't have to switch it as often. Alrighty. We can also get Ikit that Death Mortar, which is just straight up one of the best units in the game. Though the question is, I guess, who we would replace. We don't necessarily have to have the chieftains in here, but they are quite useful. And I didn't want to take them both out. Though we could just transfer them to this other army while Balequint moves in. That said, I'm not actually sure that we want the Warp Flayers in Ikit's army. Maybe we want Doom Wheels instead. Or just keep Warlocks and Chieftains. We'll have to figure that out. In fact, if we attack Findal next turn, we'll want the Death Mortar for that battle. So, well, I guess we'll decide next turn, because we're going to end this right now, end the turn, I mean, and figure out what A, the debuff is, and B, where Dirthu's going to go. Let's see. And you're still going north to the Brass Keep, which is good, because I kind of forgot about you. Alright, Disciple of the Maw. Hey, there's Skryre. Oh wow, he's taken Averheim and the Moot. Damn, he's not doing a bad job, is he? Huh. Go figure. It'll be so unfortunate when we inevitably betray him. Grom wants a non-aggression pact. Yeah, sure, I don't really have any intention of going all the way up here, because, well, at least for now, I think we want to go this way a little bit. Counter offer. Would you give us more money? And everybody around here hates Grom, but everybody around here is going to hate us as well, so yeah, that's fine. There you go, Grom. And some minor allies around us. I don't think I've ever seen Grom get all that strong, so it's unlikely that he's going to take a ton of territories anyway. But once again, Crags is doing a good job. Alrighty, Dirthu, where are you? Where did you go? Also you, to Brass Keep. You better not get assassinated just as you're on the way there. Aha, so Dirthu has indeed... Ooh. Wait, Dirthu's not at war with the Bloody Hand, so these guys could, in theory, attack us together. Okay, this is gonna be very interesting. Very interesting indeed. Watch him just ignore Zvorak and go past us, though. That would be just infuriating, wouldn't it? Oh well. Let us replace a couple of the Skaven Slave Slingers, I guess. because we're replacing range with range, and we'll need plenty of melee to hold Durthu back. Alrighty. 2 of you out.
Now.
You move the mortars in, and then we're gonna delete you for this turn. And away you go. Alrighty, now you. Do you need anything? You could get to corrosive blades, get you an armor of silvered steel. Ikit is currently using what again? He's using the warrior bane. Yeah, you can get the corrosive blade for now. We may swap it out later. Who's using the crown of command? Oh, that's charge lock. Yeah, that's fine. Artifact hunter, I guess, if you're fighting Durthu. Get the breeder because we're growing here. Man-thing slave. Yeah, a little bit of extra money. Alrighty, nice. Now, Miragliano, we kept expansionist planning here so that we could upgrade the warp lightning capacitors as well as the wall and this wall, though we can't afford both right now. Also, Ikit, you can indeed hit the Crags of Findal. And okay, Kazrak is basically dead, but yeah, Durthu has just completely abandoned these territories, including probably the Waterfall Palace. Okie dokie. Interesting. And, what's the debuff? Do we not have a debuff for abandoning territories anymore? Did they take that out? I swear there was a debuff. Events? No. Huh. Okay, so the game just doesn't care anymore. Okay, well that's just swell. That actually works out for us. Yeah, leave the tree. I guess we're going for Findal. Alrighty, and if we go for Findal, we need several things. First of all, this is sackable, so we do want to sack it. Second of all, are we able to get Bale Clinton here? No, not for this turn. Next one then. Alright, that's fine.
Ikit Claw.
Let us remove one of the chieftains then. Let's remove the disciplined chieftain. That's you, the second one. And put you into Charge Lock's army. Why the disciplined one? Because these melee Skaven slave spears would benefit a lot more from disciplined than the rest of our army would. You can lose, I guess, the Skaven slave slinger. Because Ikit's army needs a melee more than anything. And then Ikit, you are going to trade your chieftain. You are going to summon your... Wait. You are going to summon your Death Mortar, Avalanche Mortar. Oh, you gotta love that unit. It's so obnoxiously good. And then, are you at war with anybody? You are not. And you're allied with Daeth, but that's fine. We're gonna declare war on them anyway. Wait, is Daeth at war with anybody? No. Alrighty, well we gotta burn them down anyway, so this changes nothing. We will prevent them from getting stronger, and ooh, we have a wall building. Yeah, so your garrison's a little bit better. Should make for a fun fight. Now, let's level up before we fight then. You can have Rally. Hopefully we won't need it, but you never know. Actually quite tempted to get Musk of Fear instead. You know what, let's get Musk of Fear, because we cast constantly, and while Rally could be useful, I feel like the Musketeer is the better choice. A Blade Shield for you, and let's get you Suspiciously Loyal as well to power up Ikit slightly. Good. And you are going for Triangulation, so keep powering up our units. And you... Wait, one more in Triangulation. There we go. Well, Missile Strength. Lovely. And Charge Lock, you can level up as well, or at least your Chieftain can. Now your Chieftain, you can have Suspiciously Loyal as well. Love the name of that skill. And here we go. More Wood Elf fighting, I guess. To the Crags of Findal. And declare war. Torgavon shall join. And, looks like there will be defenders at Waterfall Palace. And Pyrrhic Victory, eh? Now, we should get 20 foods, so we're free to get as many of these as we want. Encircle. Because we'll get the max amount of food as a reward for those. We will also move Charge Lock in. Can you move nearby in camp stance? Unfortunately not. Alrighty, well that's fine. Oh, but we're immune to attrition here now, so it doesn't matter, because we have the tree. Daeth will probably reclaim it next turn, but if he does, we'll kill him, take it back, and then take Val's Anvil right after as well. Lovely. Alright, well that's looking good. Let's do one more fight and destroy one more set of Wood Elves. Close victory, eh? Alright, well, looks like the game... Wait. Yeah, we're at South 170... out of 165. Damn, we need to increase our capacity. You know what? Just 1 second. Capacity increased by 30 out of volatile plans. Okay, so we'll get that next. Just go straight to volatile plans. And I would like to get Carve Under Tunnels as well. Virulent plans is also nearby. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and... yes. Fight the battle.
Agree.
Oh wow, look at those Waystalkers or Glade Captains firing at Ikit, and you gotta love this frickin' Death Globe mortar unit. It is just such a glorious and lovely looking unit, those fireworks letting fly. Anyway, on the battle for the Crags here, this should be interesting as it is probably going to be the more difficult of these battles, the one that may actually test us to some degree. Unlike the King's Glade in the battle for the Oak of Ages, where the enemy stood no chance, these guys actually have a full stack in addition to the garrison here, so we may actually have to work somewhat for this victory. Though the first units are going to be having a very, very bad day here already. Looks like they're blobbed up nicely, getting hit by those catapults. There's Ikit's Brass Orb and the fire support helping out in addition to all that. And these guys will be out of the picture fairly quickly. And here come the Plague Claws to help out with that as well. Very nice. And it looks like these 3 or 4 units are routing and actually shattered already. There is one more remaining here, but I'm sure one of our other units can finish it off while Ikit moves in this direction. Somebody destroyed this Glade Guard unit. I think it must have been our Death Globe mortars. Yeah, they're working on this side essentially by themselves, because it was probably overkill on the other side, and damn, these things are quick. Let's see, yeah, one volley, maybe another volley will finish it off. And here we go. You gotta love the way that those things break apart like that. Beautiful. And you're out of here. Ikit's gonna take a few shots in your back, but he's going to take a few shots himself for his trouble. But there's still plenty of enemy units on the field this time. The similar battles, we would have already probably been halfway through the battle or already nearly done. But now, since they have a full stack, we actually have something to fight here. Plague Claw Catapults, once again doing great work. War Dancers and Glade Guard taking bombardment, and they can't really do anything about it. It must be so infuriating to be Wood Elves and to be outranged by stuff. That's like your whole thing, well, other than being able to stalk and fire. But you can do neither when you're outranged. And there we go, the Death Globe Mortars, and we're definitely keeping that unit in this army for now, in Ikit's army. It's such a good ringer, though. You could essentially build an army almost around that one unit, so it almost makes me think that maybe later on we could, if we wanted to, take it out of Ikit's army and put it in another one, and just because Ikit's army is always going to be incredibly strong. Now he's going to take a few arrow hits, but he doesn't really care because he can just second wind serum himself and he'll be fine. And they're actually not really doing that much damage to his Doom Wheel either. Over on this side, it looks like the enemy's suffering quite a bit, and now we're switching to the next unit of War Dancers. And I think both from last episode and this episode as well, the enemy has never managed to get any use out of those War Dancers. They've never managed to actually close the distance and do any fighting. Huh, this went completely in different directions. I think a few of those shots must have actually hit the trees, because it looked very strange. There we go. Now we're moving a little closer. Hopefully these land where they should. Well, some of them landed where they should, and some of them didn't. But it's good enough, because, once again, the enemy can't react to any of this. Now, we brought down the barriers with our rattling guns so that they can move forward and apply some shots as well, just to make this a little bit quicker. You gotta love watching the artillery at work. And yeah, and ironically, even though the Warp Lightning Cannons are considerably better than the Plague Claw Catapults, in this particular situation, in fighting the Wood Elves here, the Plague Claw Catapults are quite a bit more useful, aren't they? Because the Warp Lightning Cannons would have probably had a lot more difficulty firing here. And yeah, they probably would have had firing angles through like this area, but not nearly as well, I would think. Oh, and our sharpshooters are getting hit by that enemy lord again. How rude. When these guys are firing well, we're going to move up our rattling guns and our warplock Jezzails to take care of those for us. Now let's see what's going on this side as well. Ikit's still just working by himself. I'm not targeting any artillery here. You guys probably noticed when I switched the death globes here, because once again, I don't like forcing enemy units to bunch up specifically around a lord by himself and target artillery there, even though I'm perfectly willing to embrace the cheese, as it were, with Skaven in theory. In practice, here, there's no need for it, because our artillery can take care of this side while Ikit takes care of part of this side by himself, and then more of it when we got more units that actually move in to help him out. Alrighty, and now the Jezzails as well as the Rattling Guns are in. Looks like the Glade Lord is going to get targeted by both. And the stray shots are going to go into his little friend here, and they will both fall very quickly, I imagine, especially with the Jezzails helping out. There we go. One down, and a Glade Captain to go. A retarget, keep firing. He's got 10 kills, which is quite a lot. Granted, some of those might have been summoned units, but it's quite a lot if it's weapon teams units. And he's out of here and gets knocked off the horse. Perfect. Well done, you guys. Let's see what the enemy has left. The balance of power is certainly very much in our favor. Our losses are very negligible as well. And it looks like we now mostly have cleared this side and have to move on to whatever's going on this side. Ikit's actually gone to his healing cap as well, so no more of that... no more of that second wind serum. I guess we'll have to take care of the rest of these enemies without Ikit doing all the work for us. But that's fine, because now we have a lot of units on this side as well, getting ready to work. Oh, some units moving in, getting burninated. Finally, some work for our warp fire throwers. They haven't gotten a lot of work against the wood elves in the past few battles. Mostly because it seems the wood elves have... Oh, I order you to chase these guys, and then these guys are probably going to be able to move in. Whatever. I'm sure they'll be fine. To some degree. In the meantime, we still got fire happening here. We're probably going to get some stray shots into Ikit or into the chieftains or whoever's fighting and holding down these guys. I know that we had a chieftain around here, but we do have to be careful with Ikit. And there we go. Looks like the treekin were destroyed before they could approach us. Perfect. They are fairly slow after all. And not nearly as threatening when they're, unlike last episode, not fighting the Skaven slave army. Down they drop. We are very, very close to victory now. Still a few more enemy units to destroy over on this side, and a few on this side as well. But it does appear to be nearly over. There's some more warp fire throwers. And the unit basically just disappears. Lovely. I do really like how the warp fire throwers make units explode, even though it seems like it's a little bit odd that they don't just burn them, that they just make them explode. But hey, that's warp fire after all. That's part of what the warpstone does, I'm sure. Anyway, there we go. And decisive victory. I don't imagine we took that many casualties as well, just like when we fought at Kingsglade. And though I do imagine it will be a little bit more at the least, because we did lose at least a few units in a few of our weapons teams, but it certainly doesn't look like much. And yet another one of the Wood Elves' trees falls. Alrighty, there we go. Very nice. Another 5.5k. Though, once again, I really do wish that they had different maps for these Wood Elf locations, especially since they're all really close together. Like, it feels like a wasted opportunity not to have them at least be slightly different. Either way, we're going to sack the place. And there we go. Ikit gets a lot of money from sacking stuff now. And Mechanic, Siege Towers +1 for Clash. Oh, well, that's interesting. And Trab's got the Bone Breaker, Charge Lock's got the Doom Wheel, and Knife's got the Bone Breaker. Alright, lots of upgrades at the same time. Isn't that lovely? Now, Ikit, I do have to wonder whether you could... Let's have you go into channeling stance, and I think we sent Charge Lock to occupy the Crags. Who can occupy it? And we are only occupying it so that we could heal a little bit. Hey, we got a scribe for charge lock. You know what? That's something that Ikit's got to have. That extra movement range is, it sounds useful to me. What did we have to do to get that? Looted a settlement with a large army. Huh, okay. And province secured Vidrioth and Vidrioth destroyed. We'll go for exploitative planning while we have the place. And I just realized that Ikit isn't healing. The problem is, wait, can Charge Lock reach this in one turn? Yes, he can. Okay, so that means I think we take Charge Lock out of here, and then we put Ikit in. There we go. He's gonna heal a little bit. I suppose if Death attacks, he will attack Charge Lock, which will be a little bit more problematic than if he were to attack Ikit, but that's okay. On the bright side, destroying all these places is giving us quite a bit of cash, and, well, that makes me happy. We should also probably, I mean, if we're gonna fight potentially both Durthu and Grizgets here, one after the other, most likely, since they're not at war with each other. We should probably summon regiments for now, but I guess we will do that next time, because we are basically out of time at this point. We do have a little bit of cash to spend if we want to spend it, though, huh? Not really a lot to spend it on. I guess we could upgrade this, but without exploitative planning, there isn't, or expansionist planning, rather. And there's no cost reduction. And 400 isn't nothing. Let's change that. And you can be upgraded. There we go. Alright, well, it looks like at the very least our empire is growing quite nicely, and Tobaro, surprisingly, can be upgraded. You know what? Might as well. Might as well just build the wall there and upgrade it. And Skaven Blight, we may hold on to this, but I may also delete it later. I'm not entirely sure. There may be other stuff that it would be beneficial to get. We'll have to think about that. I do, you know what? I think we actually, for Skaven Blight in particular, we probably should get the Overseer's Lookout and let it grow, because it's growing extremely slowly because of the negative public order. This was going to give us Wolf Rats, though, which is a little bit unfortunate, as I did want the Wolf Rats. I suppose we could build it somewhere else. You know what? It's not a big deal. We'll get the Overseer's Lookout, and yeah, we could delete one of these, but we can't delete the Growth. This gives us 160 or 232 income, which is just plain better. So yeah, let's get the positive control and growth here. And we probably will actually want to switch to expansionist planning in Skaven Blight permanently, and just to increase the growth, because we need to get it to tier 5. Otherwise, it's gonna take forever. 86 growth is just not cutting it. Anyway, as I said, I'm gonna call it here. Next time we will have some massive fights against Durthu and Grizgets by the looks of it, as well as potentially a fight against Daeth and the destruction of Val's Anvil. And then we'll see if we have time to move to the Waterfall Palace as well. All the Wood Elves must go. We're having a going out of business sale. Some kind of pun with regards to the woods that I can't think of. I'm sure there's one there, but someone smarter than I can think of it. Stay tuned for more Ikit. Don't forget to leave a like and comment. All glory to the algorithm. And thanks for watching.